Yeah, so we've actually started to move away from price per lead models because we find them very restrictive in relation to being able to go after the highest quality traffic for our clients that
Mhm.
actually gets results. So we've recently got 2 or 3 clients now that are on our revenue max model,
Mhm.
which is focused more on like a cost per enrollment target. So the client gives us, the maximum amount they're willing to spend per enrollment on marketing. And then we try to get them as many enrollments as possible that
Yeah.
hits that benchmark within their budget that they're willing to spend every month. And we've had way more success on that model than lead gen because the problem with lead gen is everyone now in the education space, for example, is used to paying, say, like 35 or $50 a lead. So everyone in the industry is like, this is my benchmark. This is how much I'm spending. And the problem with that is there's so much competition and there's so much build up. Everyone's fighting over the same quotation mark cheap leads and it's just not getting results. Whereas if you bid like that little bit more, you're going to get all the traffic that everyone else is missing out on. So, and also markets change, like stuff's seasonal, like sales season, Black Friday and Christmas, like the cost of advertising goes through the roof because everyone is advertising. Whereas say like January, February, March is generally the cheaper time of the year. So you also want to have the flexibility to send your clients more leads that convert higher when they're cheaper because of the season changes versus when it's super, super expensive and they're going to be, running at a loss because the ads are so expensive at that time because there's just so much competition. So I
Mhm.
think it's also from that point of view, being able to have the flexibility to go after the highest quality traffic possible at a cost that makes sense to the client. So, they're making money, they're happy, I think
Mhm.
is super important. So yeah, we've actually started to move away from the pay per lead model because like it's very restrictive in relation to like results that we can get for our clients.
Of course, particularly when paid ads is like the main driver of all of it. I mean, leads probably fine for an organic thing, but yeah, when you're managing humongous budgets and, somebody else is putting their faith in you, it's a little bit more important to get something a bit more streamlined and consistent. Yeah.
Yeah, and also clients aren't going to want to buy leads if they're not converting.
Mm.
So it's like you can tell them, oh yeah, I can get you 100, 200 leads a week, but you're not going to get any sales from that. They're not going to stay around very long. Whereas if you tell them, hey, we'll base it off of cost per enrollment target, and we're just going to get you as many enrollments as we can at a cost that makes sense to you,
Mm.
that you're basing it off of the results of you're actually making them money, not just
Yeah.
sending them a bunch of leads that may not convert.
And that point that you just made has been the hardest thing to get across, like with the ping back in general.
Mm.
Getting that across in the initial instance before we had set all of that up was the hardest thing to get people to understand because from the outset, it feels like we're just probing for more data from their system, but it actually plays a much larger role in being able to get them like a really effective result. So I think the way you've just like summed that up is perfect. It's the way that I wish I could have summed it up when I was trying to like work the ping back out all that time ago. Is there anything else that we're kind of working on under the hood at the minute that is interesting or new?
Yeah, probably like interesting things that are coming through is just like all the stuff that's coming through with AI and how it's allowing us to streamline systems and like marketing and just be able to do so much more like volume of work faster.
Yeah.
Like we're able to provide like, build a new client out or build a new course out. We're just able to do it so much quicker now.
Mhm.
With, you know, a smaller team than what we've had, back in our really big vet fee days. We've got like a way smaller team now, but we're able to get so much more done so quickly because of the AI. And I
Mhm.
think it's really helpful. And I also see moving forward as it continues to get better, how it's just going to make everything like the sheer amount of volume of work you'll be able to get done in a short period of time. It's just going to be crazy.